It is great to be with you today, and I just thank you for joining me and being able to evaluate how God is at work in us and helping us every single day. Since Sunday, we've been focusing on radical obedience and how we, you and me, how we can obey God. And the verse that I chose is out of Luke chapter 10, verse 27, where you love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your strength, all your might, all that you are. And that's a good part. Just when I'm walking and praying, even this morning, and hands in the air, worshiping God, and then I was praying for you as well. You see, he said that after that is that we love our neighbor as ourselves. And thank you for being my neighbor, one that I can care for, one that I can interact with, and I'm always free for you to communicate back to me as you can and be able to tell me what's happening in your life. But when I was thinking about that today, my mind was going to children. And I also do a daily devotion that I send out by email. And today's verse out of Matthew 18 was how God has angels that have been assigned to children to minister to them, to keep them safe, well, healthy, and fulfill God's desires for their lives. And so when I was thinking of that, I was thinking of the season we're in now, the environment where it's challenging. Children cannot be in school as they usually would. And so now they're missing all their friends. They're missing the social interaction that they would normally have. They're missing some of the learning type of environment that's normal to them. And it just puts them out of sorts. How do they deal with that? Well, guess what? That's where parents come in. That's where you and I come in as well. So many of you may be like me, where you're beyond your childbearing years. Like our children have all moved away. They're older and grown up, have their own children. And so now it's grandchildren or even great-grandchildren that we are able to encourage. So when you think of loving your neighbor as yourself, I want you to think, if you're in a season of life like I am, then why don't you contact somebody that you know today that maybe does have children in their home and they are finding it just a little difficult with managing all of the household duties, the stress of their own business lives of employment and family dynamics. But now they've got children that they're raising up and having responsibility of learning in their home. Why don't you call them and just ask them, how are you doing? Be serious, don't make it frivolous. But how are you doing? Really want to know. And then just let them know you're praying for them. You're believing God for them. And you're believing that God would bring peace into their household, into their hearts first, but into their household, so that they can create an environment of peace and joy for their families. Now, maybe you're watching and that's your situation. I've described your situation. Maybe you have children in your home that are trying to learn but having struggles with that, a different environment. Maybe I even heard last night, some children with a whole class coming online, some of the children were even crying, like, are all my friends going to die? Like, is my grandma going to die? All of those things go through the minds of young children. And I believe we as parents need to embrace them and bless them and create an environment in our household where there's peace, there's understanding, there's caring for one another, where even if somebody acts out a little bit, we don't go over the top and we don't express and blast off our personal stress on those that God has given us charge over, our youngest ones. And so parents, I want to encourage you, create an environment in your home. If music is appropriate, then put on God's quiet music. Then not rah, 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 but let it be time where you can create that peace, especially before bedtime, so they can rest well. And then do things with your kids. Be able to actually spend time with them intentionally so that they can appreciate you. You can do things together, whether it's play a game or act something out, or maybe they have something in school where they need some input from you. Then make it fun. Let it be something where you develop even greater and deeper relationships and draw on God's grace in your household. I believe this would not only please God, but it would really bless your family as well and help allow God to really enhance you all and see His presence in your home. So remember, Radical obedience is not about being just strong and bold. It's about doing things that you know are right, you know they please God, and you know the benefits will last perhaps even for a lifetime. Let this season be something that the children look back to because of the extra time they have with you parents. And then the rest of us, let's reach out and touch our neighbors, touch those around us, and encourage them. And God will help us all together to walk through this season of life into the next one that's even better. God bless you.